Hello and welcome to the UTB Blogcast number 94. I'm Erica, and with me tonight is Dave, Roy, Brad, and Wingo. Say hello, boys.
Hello, boys.
Hello, boys.
Hello, boys.
All right,
Yay!
let's jump right in and open up with the July updates.
For those who got
July
them.
updates.
For those who got them.
I got the second one this morning. Received the first monthly security patch around about the 5th, 6th, or 7th of July, and I noticed that Alpha had got another update today, so I checked the priv, and sure enough, there was a 73 megabyte update. And I should have clicked on the BlackBerry link inside that to see what had been changed, but unfortunately I didn't. I just went ahead and updated.
Quick draw McGraw there.
I didn't get one on my daily driver, the DTEC 60, because I don't have any July updates, but then that's just my problem. And I did check the my priv, which had gotten the previous July update, and like Wayno, I got the new one today. Yeah, same size, whatnot. It's interesting as it was updating apps. It was like 50% of the number of apps that it usually updates. I'm not sure what they were trying to fix or do or change. I thought I read somewhere that there was some notification issues on the original update, and can't remember what else. But anyway, it's kind of odd for two of them to come out in a month. Almost seems like it was more than just a security update. But that's all good.
I haven't got any. Well, you know what? I don't know. My priv and my DTEC 50 are in another room. I should go check those. But yeah, my daily driver, my Key One hasn't got anything yet.
Yeah, Key One received the update 2 days ago.
Mine didn't, mister. I'm usually about a day behind everybody else. I don't know why, but I haven't got anything.
Is that in like life or just with phone updates?
Pretty much, yeah. No, but even app updates, I don't understand. I'm always like a day behind everybody else.
Well, you obviously don't waste your time mashing that update button like I do.
I don't do that. And I'm just wondering if it's, something to do with AT&T, something to do with the West Coast. I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, it doesn't make any sense for app updates to be a day later than everybody else, but they are without fail.
I haven't gotten the second one yet, so.
The second update is for Priv, DTEC, or Key One also?
That's a good question. I don't know. All I have is it on the priv like Wayno, and I'm not too sure about other devices.
Because I know that on the Key One, the July update should bring a new app for Support Center, and my update didn't bring it. So I don't know what's wrong with my update.
Is that Support Center a replacement for Virtual Expert, or do you have both?
Yeah, for the Key One is the replacement.
Right. Interesting. And when you go in there, does it look the same, or is it completely different, or does it cover all the same subjects?
Nothing changed.
Just the name?
I don't have the app. No, I don't have the app.
Oh.
But I have the Google Play protected.
Ooh, he's jumping right ahead.
Yeah.
Speaking of updates, has anyone spotted the difference with the keyboard joystick features? I can't seem to find it on the priv.
Oh no,
Anyone
he's
got
jumping
that
ahead.
work? Yeah, has anyone got that on the Priv working yet?
You two guys have your foot on the floor, and for you, it's already to tomorrow. So it's not fair. It's not fair. Yes. Well, which one do you want to talk about first? The Google Play Protect thing or the keyboard joystick thingy?
They just had to check. I just got back. I'm sorry, but I got the update on the DTEC 50, but not on the Priv or the Key one.
You got the first update or the second one on the DTEC 50?
That is a good question. Let me see here.
Yeah, I'm full of good questions today. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 2 so far.
Yeah.
Where does it say? It's 182.5 megabytes.
That's the first one.
The first one?
I guess so. Because the
Yeah,
second one is like half that.
Okay. And I've got nothing on the Priv.
Right.
Which the Priv is, the Priv's an AT&T phone. The DTEC 50 is, I believe it's a TELUS phone, even though I don't have a TELUS SIM. And then the Key one's unlocked and nothing. It's kind of odd.
Well, that's just the way it is. We're not getting them all on this at the same time. That's yesterday.
Yeah,
it's all
true.
Staggered these days. It's I hesitate to call it disappointing. It's just a new reality when you have sort of a fragmented responsibility. Who's responsible for what? This guy made the hardware. That guy did the software. This machine's in this stream, that machine's in that stream, and I'm kind of thinking it'll all work out in the wash because they all have to be under the same umbrella of the most secure Android on planet Earth. So you'd think that they'd all have to end up being in similar or the same streams at some point, but right now it just seems like they're trying to figure out who ought to do what and to whom and when.
That could be it, trying to determine who and when. Because where are you at on your DTEC 60 there, Dave? Are you still in June? Or May?
Let me check. I think I got the June one. I'm pretty sure if I push this button, yeah, June 5th.
Because I know that was part of the conversation earlier today in the group with people saying where they're at, and it seemed like a lot of those phones were unlocked and they seem to be about a month behind or so.
Yeah. So I'm do I want it to be the same as like the Priv seems to be, and the DTEC 50, they both seem to be getting the updates just like they always did, as quickly as they always did, as often as they always did, no skipping of months. And then the DTEC 60 is kind of an oddball out there. I've been getting the updates skipped a month here and a month there, and I'm not too freaked out about it. But from a company or a global perspective, you'd want to be able to say to everybody that had that logo on their handset that they're all going to get this update within a couple of days of each other. They're putting the SIG in your email automatically is the most secure Android phone on planet Earth type deal. It says that, and so they need to make that true. Right now, it's not for everybody, and it is for some.
I'm not really taking it as a fear for safety per se, because I know. If you look at what a lot of these things are doing are protecting against certain vulnerabilities and certain exploits. And some of these vulnerabilities and exploits are things that would have never affected BlackBerry in the first case, just because of what they've done to secure the kernel. Now, there's some stuff that I would assume would affect us, right? But I mean, maybe it's a case of, well, this one isn't this important to this phone. It's not at risk from any of these vulnerabilities. That could be the case because, I mean, you know, John in our chat says, why worry about it? It's a BlackBerry. And I kind of feel the same way, except for the fact that, to me, having those updates roll out as fast as possible immediately to all those phones is a selling point.
It's a selling point. Yeah, it's a selling point. It's a bragging right. And it's fully, completely, to use a tragically hip term, the statement that BlackBerry puts out. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't want to have a slogan on my business and not live up to it. As much as I get what you're saying, and I not going to argue with it because you know, for the most part, people don't have an issue. It's just that if you're going to say you're going to do something, then you should do it. And I realize it's not a huge problem right now. You just don't want it to be. And there's a little bit of a reputation thing there. And I don't know. I just think somebody should get on it and make it happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think to me, that's entirely what it comes down to, is that reputation thing. I mean, there's been no other manufacturer that's been as consistent as BlackBerry, you know, with the Prith, you know. now the other phones seem to, like you said, Dave, that there's a little bit of inconsistency there, and I'd rather them all, because I mean it is the same OS, you know. It seems like, and it's all coming from BlackBerry. I know there's little tweaks and things. We know this simply because, you know, the picture passwords on some phones and not on other phones, right? So we know there's little differences between them.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to pick on that when you said that. Yeah. So, I mean, sure, there is a difference, but you wouldn't think that a security patch would be included in those differences. So,
right.
They come from Android, they come from Google, and everybody is capable or able to put them out there. And lots of manufacturers choose to not do that. Some manufacturers do, you know, choose to do it often, and some manufacturers, you know, definitely do it all of the time. And you know, so the Pixels, the Google Pixels are like that. Motorola's, for the most part, used to be like that. I don't know if they still are. And BlackBerry.
No, Motorola flat out said that they weren't going to be shoving out the monthly updates. I mean, they said it.
Yeah, they used to.
It wasn't going to happen. Yeah,
and they're not anymore. And BlackBerry's flat out said, you know, this is our bread and butter, and we're going to do it. And so, you know, I don't have a chip on my shoulder because of the DTAC 60 I have. I'm not too worried about it. But if you say you're going to do something, you should do it. That's my humble opinion. And it's very humble.
Dead air.
And it's an opinion.
Dave, do you want to go ahead and move over to the Google Play Protect that Roy brought up?
Well, yeah, Roy brought it up, and he should probably run with that. And I don't know if he has an experience with it. Do you, Roy? Because I don't. I've been mashing update buttons, and I don't have any experience with it. I can't find it anywhere. I don't have that to really expound on.
You have as much experience with it as everybody else here, Dave, because it's not something that you have to download. It's there. It's in your phone.
Well, you supposedly you can go into your settings and go find it in security and verify, and I don't have that.
It's
That's
not
what
on.
I'm saying. It's not there.
Well, it's rolling out.
Yeah, it is. You've got to go into settings and then into Google, then scroll down down to security. It says verify apps. Now it's very vague. It does give you a list of 5, 6 apps there that have been scanned, and 36 more. Mine says looks good. No harmful apps found. You can't really do much more than that. You know, it will check for malicious apps that have been downloaded from other sources other than the Google Play. So if you're downloading from different websites or different sources, it will check those for you, but it's very vague. Yeah, it's good to know it's there, but I don't think it's a patch on DTEC.
No, it's just a background service is all it is. And that's actually one of the questions that we got on the comment on the blog is how many layers of security do you need? And it's like, well, when do you stop saying I want another? Right? I mean, like, I'm happy with my DTEC. I'm happy that Google is taking into account the apps on our phones. I'm happy that they're scanning apps within their Play Store. I'm happy that anybody's taking security into account. And it's not something that's really going to slow me down at all. It's just watch us. Just make sure we're safe. John says 10 layers. He wants 10 layers on his phone. That's what he wants. Give him 8 more.
See, there I was looking in the wrong place. I do have it on both phones.
So it doesn't really
Thank
give
you
you
for
any
that.
options like DTEC as far as going in and changing app permissions and things like that. So, if you're on a non-BlackBerry Android phone, yeah, it's good to know it's there. But in all honesty, I'd much prefer the DTEC app and being able to see what's accessing your permissions and being able to change them on the spot.
The different apps, different things.
Different angles on the same subject. Yeah,
right.
That was going to be my question: is what's the difference? And Roy, what have you?
The Google Play Protected is about scanning the apps on Google Play, and about if you download some malware or some apps acting differently than they should be. The DTEC is monitoring your app if the app is accessing your device or trying to do things with your camera and microphone. So the different apps.
Right. DTEC is looking at your permissions, and Google Protect is looking for known malicious activity. So it's two different things, just what Roy is saying. I just didn't have the groaning in the background. But
well, you could have some if you wanted.
You've got nothing in the background. Man. It's just a black sheet.
Yeah, I know.
Where are your dolls?
They're in the other room. This is where I make my videos. But I had my desk and chair in here, so I was like, screw it. I'm just going to set up in here instead of moving stuff back.
The inflatable goat is under the desk.
No, that's been shipped to Wayno.
Oh, really? Had your way with it and it's gone. Okay.
Secondhand goods.
Yeah.
Just like the coffee mug.
I knew it was going there.
Very nice. Good choice.
Yeah, look, it's only still getting back on subject. The Google Protect feature is only relatively new, so there's no doubt you'll probably see some improvements to that down the track. Maybe we will see something like DTEC with app permissions and that incorporated into it. I think for anyone on a non-BlackBerry Android that doesn't have access to DTEC, it'd be a great addition to be able to see, just like DTEC, the apps that are accessing certain permissions and things like that. It's although it is a definite advantage and selling point on a BlackBerry Android to have that on there.
So I noticed one setting in there. It says improve harmful app detection, and by default it's off. It says send unknown apps to Google for better detection. So really, you're kind of ratting yourself out, are you not? Yeah, like if you went and...
It's another one of those things, sending information back to Google, and there's a lot of... Because that's actually something that I was really shocked and pleased to see, that they're not just, it's not an opt-out to send your logs to Google, it's an opt-in, and that's nice to see for a change.
Yeah, no, I get that, and I'm glad to see that it's off by default. But if you turned that on and you had an app from a third party, I wonder if you would have an indicator that things are not looking good. Of course, I'd want to. Well, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But that's interesting.
We want data app. We want the data cap to act as the Google Play protected.
Yeah. Well, to add that, yeah.
Yeah. So the data cap
Yeah.
would scan for malware.
Yeah, and in a way, that would be very much like what BlackBerry 10 has. When you're installing an app, it checks it right then and there, right?
BlackBerry Guardian.
Yeah, that'd be very cool.
Yeah, I'd love to see BlackBerry Guardian over to Android.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Well, let's move on to the keyboard joystick that we were talking about earlier.
The keyboard joystick.
The keyboard, that's just something I started calling it because I didn't know what else to call it because I couldn't find the damn thing. So I'm bugging everybody and everybody ignored me. Where's the keyboard joystick? Nothing.
So hashtag keyboard joystick.
Yeah.
You would like to.
And then a few minutes later, yeah, but where's the keyboard joystick thingy? I can't find it anywhere.
You make it sound like everyone was ignoring you. I think you asked like twice in the middle of a mad discussion, and Robert answered you like on the second time.
That's not the point. I'm making a story here because it needs to be entertaining.
Brad, you should know better than to get in the way of Gabe's stories.
And so what did I realize? I realized that, of course, it's a beta thing, right? If you've signed up for the Hub Plus services and all of the apps that go with that, the Hub, of course, and Calendar, et cetera, and whatnot, the keyboard is one of those apps that's included in that beta that you sign up for. Well, I don't know what happened, but because I thought I'd signed up for, I'll roll back a sec. Every one of those individual apps you have to sign up for in order to get a beta notification in Google Play that there's an upgrade for you to try. And that's why I didn't have it, because I hadn't actually gone in and said yes to the keyboard. Swear to God, I'd done it before. In any case, so I went and did that, what feels like again. And 2 minutes later, boom, got the update. And yeah, so that's my stupid story and I'm sticking to it. Who here has used it? And who here has used it and found it useful?
I'm still trying to find it.
I'm not
Really?
aware.
How do I access it? It's on the priv, isn't it?
Yes, if you're on beta, it's there. So
Okay, so what do I do? How do I get it? I've been trying to find it.
well, let me go to something that's innocuous. I will go into here. So here is a message in my phone, and one of the things you'll see that you can choose is don't make me laugh. Is a little thing that looks like an ABC and then a stripe up and down. So if I push that, then that's what you get. And so you can just place your finger in a spot in the text above, and then use these cursors and or the joystick to move around in the text. So have I found it useful? Yeah, I found it useful a couple of times when I wanted to insert something that didn't look quite right. And instead of having to use my finger to poke exactly where I wanted it to be, the joystick got me there in a heartbeat. So has anybody else found that useful, or
Well, here's the thing.
just eye candy that's
I've just
useless
found
but
it.
looks good?
Here's the thing. I just discovered that we had keyboard extensions like a week ago, and I actually did a video for that that's not going to be seen now because they changed the way it happens. But do you guys have a phone that doesn't have the beta on it right now?
I might not have it on the Priv.
Because if you do, like, open up a message, just a blank message, doesn't matter what, and press and hold on depending on which keyboard you're using. If it's your physical keyboard, it's the 0 and the mic, and it's got those 3 dots next to it. On the virtual keyboard, it is the 3 dots are on the period. So where it's got the 3 dots, if you press and hold that, it pulls up keyboard extensions above your keyboard. And they're just slightly different than the new beta keyboard extensions. You don't have the joystick essentially.
No, I'm used to that, but
which I didn't even know those were there until about a week ago. But I've been using those. Okay. Now that I've got this beta keyboard, I really can't say I've been using it so much, but.
Well, I think maybe it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. It's cool that it's there, like so many other features, and you know, a certain percentage of the population is going to adopt it and really get into it and like it and love it. And then there's a whole bunch of people that won't care at all or even know that it's there. So
I gotta say, I really, really like the clipboard there. Like that's what I am finding extremely useful is the clipboard.
Yep, you get copy in the clipboard and pasting. And what's in that 3-dot menu on the bottom right?
Cutting and select, or like to highlight text.
Yeah,
it's actually quite cool.
It's very featureful, full of features, or something. The joystick keyboard, I finally got it.
Hey, do you guys remember? Do you guys remember the black? Do you remember BID?
Not sure.
I didn't. The BlackBerry Integrity Detection, which is something that's running
in BlackBerry World.
Huh?
In BlackBerry World?
No, on our BlackBerry Android devices. It is. I'm looking. This was just sent to me by one of our listeners who's essentially laughing at me because none of us remembered this.
Laugh away. We're here. Yeah, you're not.
From the BlackBerry developer blog, it's like a personal security guard for your smartphone, exclusive to the BlackBerry Priv. This was posted over a year ago. Technically speaking, BlackBerry Integrity Detection, BID for short, is a trusted, secure background process running at the system level that monitors the device for known security vulnerabilities.
Right.
So we already have in our BlackBerry what we were saying we wished DTech was doing.
Yeah. Well,
it's
now we have it
up in our faces.
Now we have it 2 times.
Now we have 3 layers. We're 7 more to go, John. 7 more to go.
Yay. Gotta like it. Or something. Or not.
Nice. That's very nice. Thank you for that. I think Jabatis. I know I'm saying that wrong. So what's up?
Well, the only thing I have left to talk about is the NIAP for Secu Suite. Are we ready to move forward with that?
You're the one to talk about. Didn't you blog that?
Yeah, I blogged it. I just didn't know if you guys were ready for the segue.
Go ahead.
As awkward as it was. So BlackBerry made the announcement this week that Secu Suite has also now received the NIAP certification, just like AtHoc. One of the AtHoc products did earlier this year.
Yeah.
And basically what that means is that they are now on the product compliance list for the federal government usage. So they have, it's another BlackBerry solution that the government can use to secure their communications.
Yeah, so we knew about SecuSmart and the SecuSuite or whatever when Angela Merkel was first seen with a Z10 after she was using a device that got hacked by, we won't mention who. Anyway, and so that's been quite the viable, encryption mechanism for a few years now. And I think it was Alex Thurber that was commenting that, and he's so right about this, that the need to encrypt your communications is not just for desktop devices anymore. It has to be in mobile devices, and who better to do that than BlackBerry's software suite, which is of course including the SecuSmart. So it's really great to see that they've got this NIAP or NIAP or NIAP, however you want to pronounce it, certification, so that this, it's not like it's not like they're announcing a big landed deal or anything, but it's available now. So it's another bullet in the in the gun that BlackBerry can sell to any kind of government that needs that kind of thing. And quite frankly, I think they all do. Unless something's changed, I'm under the impression that at least the original design was that the technology was a card that you'd insert into your SD slot. That could have changed by now, but that's where the encryption technology was, hardware based, is in your SD slot. Anybody else hear anything different about that?
You're going way back. You're digging deep. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, that is the thrilling days of yesteryear, but I'm not sure if it's changed.
Well, it's obviously changed because they can use it on an iPhone now, and iPhones don't have SD card slots. So they may still use SD for some. They may not have to on others. But the thing is, they just got the certification, right? The NIAP. So that means it opens it up for Canada and the US. I don't know if there's really any difference to the services itself. I doubt it is. They probably just got their certification for it. But what struck me as funny is, as I'm going through it, I'm reading my news feed.
No, really?
Dave, no tinfoil hats, no beer goggles tonight. Come on, man.
Yeah, I was kind of figuring that after you did that, SD slot.
Just a production note for anybody listening to the podcast. You might want to.
I should put on some beer goggles.
You might want to turn on the video for this moment.
It's the beta
was kind of
for
obvious.
Google Glass.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, BlackBerry Glass or something.
We're actually all missing our tinfoil hats today.
Yeah. It's all good.
So what were you saying, Brad?
So I was saying, as I was going through my news feed about that news, because it was showing up everywhere all at the same time. It was Apple Insider. I think it was Apple Insider, but one of the Apple sites put their headline was BlackBerry joins Apple in NIAP certification, right? That was like their headliner in government work, something along those lines. And then they're talking, it's like, you know what? Apple's not the first, and they were never the only to have any sort of NIAP certification. And, they're listing off the products of the Apple products, and it's like, okay, iOS 9 with an MDM has NIAP certified. It's like, it's not the same sort of situation, guys. it struck me as really funny that it honestly, it struck me like something that we would do back in the BlackBerry 10 days, when we wanted to say, hey, look, they just started doing this. Well, we want to show that we can do it too, or that we've been doing it all along, because, you know, we do that. It's like, hey, WhatsApp has a new option. Now they can retract messages. And it's like, hey, guys, guess what? We've been doing that for 2 years now. It just kind of struck me as one of those defensive mechanisms. And it's funny to me that iPhone sites are now having to take the defensive method that we used to back when we were on what seemed to be a failing platform. So it's like tables have turned, hasn't it, guys? When Apple fan sites are having to take that defensive strategy in order to say, hey, we can do it too.
Yeah, with one device, with strictly one OS, and we can do it on all our BlackBerry 10 devices.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the Android devices, but all the BlackBerry 10 devices.
I know Samsung, it was for a specific device that they had. And it may have even been more than one device, to be honest. I know it was a Galaxy. I forget. I think it was a 5. But it's that's just it. You know, we were all upset. We were all waiting. It was such a long wait for that update, and it just seemed to be taking so long on that BlackBerry 10 update. But the point was, they NIAP certified every bit of BB10. Every BlackBerry 10, from your Q5 to your Passport, were all NIAP certified. And no other phone maker's done that.
Yeah, well,
so, yeah,
I guess
it took a little extra time.
Gone through the school of hard knocks.
I thought they just went through explosive training, but who knows?
Yeah, there's a little detonation going on, but, you know, maybe that's changed. So anyway, yeah.
Anything more to say about their including?
No,
I can't even find my words. See what happens when you guys mess with my head. I can't even find my freaking words.
This is a new segment we're calling "What the hell is Dave drinking?"
Dude chilling.
Do we have anything more to say on the increased presence of BlackBerry in the federal government?
Yes, Wayno. Come on.
That was Roy that blogged that one. The Melbourne
Shield.
Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne Shield. Take it away, Roy.
So hey, what's up with UTB Australia, man? Roy's blogging the Shield. I'm blogging, you know, phishing scams.
Yeah, also blog for New Zealand. The same like Australia.
UTB Australia's on strike.
Nice.
BlackBerry partnered.
Come on, man, give me a break. I blogged 6 times this week.
Yeah, that's something that you brought up live.
That's 6 more times than me.
BlackBerry partnered with Briggs. Maybe Wayno can tell us more about Briggs. And they brought ad hoc to Melbourne, and now government departments and enterprises can communicate one with each other with ad hoc on crisis. And I think the Melbourne citizens are more safe and can feel safer with ad hoc on duty.
So did it, I didn't get a chance to, I sort of skimmed the video that they put out. But is there more than just ad hoc at play here? Is there more than the ad hoc software at play?
The UEM,
Yeah.
it's running on UEM.
Right.
So it's nice to see BlackBerry branding ad hoc services for specific audience, like Melbourne. You will see the Melbourne Shield and maybe some other cool names for cities or countries that use ad hoc.
It's kind of interesting that they used that name or moniker, or why did they call it that? I wonder. It's a public service, I get it, but it's funny that, you know, like, do I get to have a Vancouver shield, or, you know, have you got that all locked up down there?
You will get a Vancouver umbrella in your case.
Ba-doom. Nice. Nice. Well, there you go.
Good times.
Anything else, boys?
We got to have something here.
I don't know.
Almost empty.
It's been a quiet week.
It has. It's been real quiet.
Yeah.
So quiet we can hear Wingo chug.
Yeah. Very much. Like louder than anybody's conversation we could.
Yeah, I can taste it too.
Yeah, it's almost hard to swallow. Or something.
No, not hard to swallow. Goes down like a treat.
You're in a different spot there, Wayno, but you still have like a picture up above your head, just like the other spot.
Yeah.
Could you sit like anywhere in your house and have that situation going on?
Pretty much. We got family pictures everywhere here. It's hard to avoid them when there's 4 kids in the house, 6 of us here, so there's pictures up everywhere. But yeah, I'm in the lounge room today. I thought I'd kick back, and normally I do it from the bedroom because there's people everywhere and a lot of noise, so I normally lock myself in there, and it's relatively quiet. But today there's only one of the sons home. Everyone else is out at work or doing other things, so kick back in the lounge room today. And that's actually a picture of me and the wife and the youngest daughter up there. Although she's grown a lot now. She's 12 next week on Friday. So we have a birthday next week.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And that's Wayno's life in a nutshell.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
You guys are so lively tonight.
Just as a little sidebar, I am still trying to get caught up on the shot on BlackBerry. It's been a quiet week in BlackBerry, but it's been a busy week in Bradville. So expect a bunch of posting over this weekend. We still have so many pictures to get through that people have sent. Anybody else that wants to share their shot on BlackBerry photos, just email those photos to shotonbb@utbblogs.com. Include your handle that you want to be credited by, whatever social media or BBM channel or even contact pin you want to add, and we'll publish it. We're getting some really amazing photos on there. I don't know how many of you have got to look at it, but some people are extremely talented with their phones.
So what's the most popular thing to do in Bradville?
Wish I was somewhere else.
Aaron has a question. I don't know if we
good.
for him, but we can at least maybe get the readers to help out too.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
With the new keyboard update, my speaker to talk only stays recording for about 3 seconds. what's the issue. It's that way on all my BlackBerry Androids. So if anybody here
What do you
been
mean?
having a problem?
I'm having a problem understanding the question. My speaker to talk only records. Is this for?
Text for
Oh,
talk
this
to
is
text.
for text. Talk
Voice
to
to
text.
text.
By the look of it. I haven't tried that.
makes
I don't use it. I've only just found the joystick, so give me a break.
Hey, Brad,
Yeah.
throw up the Shot on BB email in the chat, too.
Oh, will do. Let me see here.
Amy's asking for the link for the photos, so you can what was the email address, Brad? shotonbb@utbblogs.com.
Yes, and then you can find the channel, the Instagram, and the Twitter all at Shot on BB.
Yeah, so if you want to email them through to shotonbb@utbblogs.com, Brad will get those, and when he gets around to it, he is quite lazy, but when he gets around to it, he'll get them up on the site.
Too funny. You know, I used to have this little green disc. It was about this big, and on this little green disc was written TUIT, to it. So whenever anybody said, I'll do it when I get around to it, I used to give it to them. But anyway, back to that question. What was the question again? Whenever I what now?
The speaker?
You're a good listener.
Talk to text. It's only
Speaker
recording
on the
for 3
keyboard.
seconds.
Speech to text.
Speech test. Let's check it.
This is a UTB live test.
Yeah, I was just testing. Are you testing now? The first time I pulled up the microphone and did it, I got exactly what he said there. It only stayed on for a second or two. And then when I pushed the microphone, I could go as long as I wanted to.
Yeah.
So it's push to talk.
Yeah, we should submit that because I really don't use it, and I hadn't seen that before.
Yours only records for 3 seconds too?
I'd say the first time I pulled it up, it was even less than that. Give it a try if you've got the beta keyboard, because when you pull it up by pushing the microphone button, it only recorded test of me saying testing 1 2 3, right? Then when I push the microphone button,
This is a test 1 2 3
on the keyboard,
I am
please.
gonna sit
It
here
went for the whole
talking
time.
and talking and talking and talking, and my screen actually says tap to pause.
Hello.
But I'm still talking and talking and talking, and it seems like it keeps going and going and going. And it's been one hell of a lot longer than 3 freaking seconds. So I'm wondering what kind of phone you've got and what version of software you're on, because this thing just won't shut up, just like me.
So, well, here's a question, Dave. When you pulled up your microphone, did you start talking then, or did you push the button?
Let me try that again.
He's saying that the speaker on the keyboard works fine, but if you tap the 3 lines, then tap the top speaker, it's like what Brad is saying for 3 seconds.
The 3 nines.
No, the 3 lines.
3 lines.
Oh, see, I didn't even do it that way. I did not. But oh yeah, that does it that way too. Because I was pushing the actual physical key, the 0 on the key 1 to pull it up, and it did the same thing. So it's almost like it's turning on the microphone, and then it's waiting for you to push a button to start recording.
Right.
One starts recording, but nothing happens. It makes the beep to say that it's recording. And I start talking, but nothing happens. I don't know what's going on there. I might have to go into the settings of it. Maybe I've...
Oh, it sounds like we all have the... sounds like we all have the same sort of situation going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wonder if that's been reported. We'll report it. We had another question also. EU's GDPR privacy law. BlackBerry's stance on privacy is shared by those countries for membership.
What?
Who's
Who's
keeping up on that?
Not me.
What's that?
Are you guys still recording?
Yeah, I was trying
my
to.
phone
but
won't
I'm
shut
gonna
up.
stop doing that. I'm going to pay attention now. Who's making breakfast? Anyway, what was the statement? What was the question? What was the subject? What?
What I'm doing here?
Yeah. Why am I here? Why is the sky blue?
So has
What is my
anyone
purpose?
heard anything on the screen lift issues? Has anyone heard any updates with what's going on there?
I heard rumors that there was new batches and somebody was, again, it's rumors that there was like extra glue on, noticeably extra glue on some screens, and it's completely unverified, totally a rumor. So unfortunately, I don't have a piece of machinery to check out. I wish I did, but I don't.
The other thing I was speaking to a chap in our group this morning, and he's been having connectivity issues with Wi-Fi, with Bluetooth, and things like that too. He's not overly impressed with the device. He bought it to use as his daily driver, but because of the connectivity issues, he's kind of putting it on the back burner and sticking with the Passport at the moment.
Is this his first run with BlackBerry Android?
No, I believe he had the Priv. He did have the Priv.
But he kept the Passport as his
yeah.
daily driver with the Priv?
Yeah, he's a bit like me. You can't put down a good thing. You know, it works reliably. And that's the reason why I keep going back to it too.
The only connectivity issues I ever heard of were with the provider, the cellular provider, and a few people got their issues fixed by getting an updated SIM from their provider.
The only time I experience Wi-Fi issues, it's when I forgot my password to the Wi-Fi. So I recommend him to check his settings.
Hang on.
I'll admit that I've had some issues. I can't blame it entirely on the phone, because like what I'm running into is in my car, you know, where I made my video showing how my phone connects to my car, I'm having issues keeping my phone connected to my car. It will connect every time I get in my car, turn on my car, and it will stay connected, and I can take phone calls, and that's all fine and good. But then the minute I go to play music, it tends to disconnect. It won't stay connected for any given amount of time. But that's only in my car, because as Dave knows and as Erica knows, I have a lot of Bluetooth headphones. Like I have a problem. I have a serious problem, and I buy a lot of Bluetooth headphones. Yeah, my name is Brad.
What he's saying, a lot of...
But I'm still talking, and I have no problem with any of those headphones. It's just the car.
Me too.
So go ahead, Wayno.
Yeah, he's saying...
Same thing?
Yeah, it was a Bluetooth was one of the first issues. Works fine within a 50 to 80 centimetre radius. If he holds the phone in his hand and extends it away from his headphones, it tends to lag and then eventually disconnect.
Okay.
He had issues with Wi-Fi. So it seems that the Bluetooth is connecting within a very close range, but once you sort of get it
50
to 80 centimetres, which isn't far.
Both my son
same
and
with
I,
Wi-Fi.
both my son and I had that exact issue, both on a Priv. And I realize it's not the same machine, but whatever. What we did on his was did a factory reset, and that did not fix his issue. He actually had to send it away. I experienced the exact same circumstances. If I held my phone up around here with my Bluetooth headphones, I'd be no problem. But if I stuck the phone in my pocket, I'd be done. And so I did a factory reset on mine, and it fixed it immediately. So I'm not sure why one was not a fix and the other one was, but I would heartily recommend doing a factory reset first. And if that doesn't resolve your issue, you have a defective unit.
Yeah, well, it was also with Wi-Fi. Same thing. If he's within 1 meter from the modem, he gets full signal strength. If he turns his back to the modem, it basically loses half the strength.
Yeah.
And if he walks sort of 5 meters away, the signal goes on and off.
Right.
And even outside, he's using the Telstra network, which supposedly has the best coverage in Australia. And outside, he lost access to the internet, couldn't open a web page at all. A restart fixed that, but it did come back a couple of hours later again. So,
yeah, I'd seriously recommend doing a factory reset. And if that doesn't fix it, I think you have a defective unit. It wouldn't shock me at all if there was one chip that dealt with all, both or all 3 of those radios. So do it ASAP. I know it's painful, but do it.
So looking up the memberships question here, the GDPR is it's new regulation. It's I've lost my place already, but it's the General Data Protection Regulation, and it looks like it's coming into effect in 2018, 25th of May 2018. And looking at I'm on their website. It's eugdpr.org. Going through just their key changes, it's it's penalizing people that do things wrong. Obviously, there's a breach notification. So if there's an information breach, the people who's had their information breach must be notified within a certain amount of time. Looks like 72 hours. Right to access. So people are able to get their information from people that collect the information. They have a right to see it free of charge in electronic format. Right to be forgotten, which is something that I know Google has gotten into a lot of trouble in Europe because they don't want to remove people's information. Data portability. I'm looking at that. Transmit that data to another controller. I'm not quite sure what that is. Privacy by design goes without saying what that is, and looks like the companies have to have data protection officers, so they got to have somebody in charge of ensuring that they comply with this. So going back to membership's question was, will BlackBerry be in compliance with this? Just looking at these key overpoints, I mean, obviously, I'm just looking at this now. I haven't done any deep research into it. I'm sure there's a lot more going on than just these key changes, but I don't see any reason why BlackBerry wouldn't be able to comply with this. I mean, this is kind of right up their alley, right?
They already do, Brad, as far as I understand.
Yeah.
Is there a specific country involved here? I'm unfamiliar.
It's the EU, so essentially everybody but Brexit, right?
Back in August last year, when the GDPR was first approved, BlackBerry released a blog on their site talking about it, and they said that their entire enterprise portfolio is GDPR ready, and they have an advanced assurance division which is equipped and working with their clients to support a smooth transition. So they've been on this for months already.
So answers that. So why didn't you answer that when Neil was asking?
Because I found it while you were Googling it yourself.
Ha-ha!
Aha!
We don't know to research things until we know to research things.
That's part of the fun of having a live chat, right?
Yeah, it's part of not knowing everything.
It's part of having a full-time job on top of everything we do.
What's for breakfast, Roy?
Really?
Yeah.
If we reach the small talk portion of the show, I think it's time to say goodnight.
Well, wait. We got Aaron, not our regular Aaron, but our other regular Aaron. That's just in news, Aaron. Asking if we've heard anything about Priv and DTEX getting updated to NuGet, and as far as I'm concerned, we're still in the same place we were a week ago when I think we talked about it. Can I say something? Go for it.
Priv and DTEX owners, don't wait for the NuGet update so much, because I'm not sure it's coming.
So we're in the same place we were last week, right?
Yeah, the same place.
Go ahead. Yeah.
What?
I was just going to say the only rumor I heard was that any decisions were going to be remaining until after the key one was finished being rolled out. But it gets rolled out and then rolled out and rolled out and rolled out and rolled. Did I mention rolled out? It sort of never ends.
I have sources that told me some things that they saw, and Priv DTEX devices are not getting the NuGet update.
Yeah, which doesn't shock me. It's kind of disappointing, but it doesn't shock me, especially since the DTEX 60 is so capable.
Right.
Google or Qualcomm that decided. I know for sure, but I really don't care for the NuGet update on the Priv or the DTEC app, the DTEC devices.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody wants to have the latest. It's just boys with their toys or whatever. You know, as long as you're secure and have a modern operating system, you're good to go. So I get that. I'm one of those guys that's boys with the toys, and I want it, but it kind of looks like I have to change hardware for that.
All right. Well, there's some unofficial, unconfirmed information for us.
Wait, can you hear me? You got a minute?
What? What's going on?
I have no clue. Go for it, Wayno.
Wayno got a key one?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, dear.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
We're listening. You're the go.
I've just had one of my Aussie BBM group mates show up with a letter from the guys in the group. And the buggers have gone out and bought me a key one.
Yeah! Yeah! All right. Way to go, guys. That's way too cool.
Here we go. We're gonna do a live unboxing on UTB because we never actually.
Where's your Crocodile Dundee knife?
Wait, who's sitting next to you, Wayno? Can you introduce?
Not a knife, mate. Yeah, this is a knife.
This is MJ. Hi guys.
Hi, MJ.
He's
hello there.
A big BlackBerry fan for a while and an integral part to the Aussie BBM group. And look at that.
Ooh, loving
This
it.
is the Melbourne Shield.
So, no, it's the Sydney show, not the Melbourne show. So there we go. Look at that.
Look at that gorgeous thing. Way to go, guys.
Yeah.
Is this your first time holding one, Wayno?
It is. It is. It's the first time I've seen one. Wow. That's beautiful. I don't know what to say.
Well, I think you should cry. Yeah.
Oh,
I think you should cry.
These guys in the Aussie group have been a great bunch of mates for a long time, and wow, this is.
I thought it'll be a nice gesture for someone who has done a lot for the group, for Blackberry in Australia, and yeah, that's the least we could do.
That's amazing.
Well,
No,
hey, now I know how you feel, Brad.
I think the least you could do is take them out for breakfast. This is a lot more than that. Way to go, guys. That's just freaking awesome.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, so we're having a beer. Look at this, eh?
Cheers. Way to go, MJ.
That's a great way to end the show, guys. Why don't we say good
That
night?
is awesome. You guys are awesome. The Australian group.
Very cool.
Things in down under.
This is what Aussie mateship's all about. You know, these guys, I love them to death, and we've been mates for probably close to 2 years now. We organise a group meetup probably every 6-8 months or thereabouts, wherever we can organise one. And our next one's coming up in October, and this is just absolutely awesome. These guys are have become really great mates. You know, as like the UTB group where we've all become good friends, and that's powering up. And you know, these guys are a big part of my life, and we chat every day, almost all the time that I'm not on UTB group. I'm in the Aussie group, and this is out of this world. This is sensational. I'm blown away. I really,
absolutely. And so you should be.
These guys are fantastic. So I know
And it
some
will
of the
be
guys
funny.
will be watching live, and you guys are fair dinkum. You're awesome. You shouldn't have done it, but wow, this is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, you know,
They're asking you to read
funny.
the letter. They're asking you to read the letter, Wayno. I don't know if you can, or if you.
it goes to show you that complaining
Okay,
works.
so I'll read the letter. It says, on behalf of the BlackBerry BBM Australia group, please accept this BlackBerry Key 1 from the undersigned members of the group as a gesture of our appreciation. As you're aware, we have been a group for a long time, and the group is about mateship, as well as an abundance of piss-taking, general foul language, and homosexual references
I see.
pointed by everyone. I don't know whether I should be reading this. Pointed
I
at
think
everyone.
that ship
and
has
anyone.
sailed.
Therefore, seeing you as the biggest. I'm not going to. I can't say this live.
Oh.
Yes, please don't.
I cannot say that bit live.
Well, read
As a
off all the
gesture,
names.
Yeah, as a gesture, I would dearly like to present you with your very own BlackBerry Key 1. Please review the device and blog the hell out of it on UTB in order to correct the shocking videos posted elsewhere on on other sites. Enjoy, and there are certain parts to this I just can't read live on air. But it's basically from Ian, MJ, Nick, Rod, Anthony, Ryan, Bops, Nessie, Brian, and Michael. So
That's awesome. That's way awesome.
Yeah.
that's just super. So yeah, the visitor I was expecting today was MJ, and he's just shown up, and wow, what can I say?
Now, just to make this happen, I just traveled 150 kilometers.
Oh my God.
And
Oh wow!
Way to go, MJ. I mean, thank you. That was awesome, man. Way to go, buddy.
That's what these guys do, you know.
Bueno.
It's,
check if you get the July update before Brad.
Yeah.
It's not set up, Roy.
Enough fun here. Let's get back to business.
My head's still shaking holding this thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, like MJ said, he's driven 150 Ks to deliver this thing personally, and that's what these guys do. You know, they're a great bunch of blokes, and if it wasn't for BlackBerry and BBM, I wouldn't know them. And, you know, for that, I'm forever grateful. As with you guys, you know, if it wasn't for BlackBerry and our mutual love for the brand, we wouldn't know each other and we wouldn't be here. So BlackBerry has brought a lot of people together. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just
it's more an American show.
Yeah,
so
well,
emotional.
It's an Aussie show, so the Aussies have
I think this moment is one of our UTB Blogcast highlights for the last 94 shows.
definitely up there.
Definitely out of the last 4 or 5. That's
Yeah.
for sure. That's true. They've just been a train wreck the last 4 or 5. But that is awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now I'm sad that nobody bought me the key one.
Yeah.
Well, you were too impatient. You went out and bought it yourself.
Yeah.
See, if you wait,
Well, congratulations,
People will buy you
Mingo. And
Yeah.
to the Aussie group from us at UTB, thank you for helping him contribute to the site.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Very amazing.
Enjoy. I gotta go now. Yeah.
I'm going to leave you for a second.
Yeah,
guys.
this is actually a good point to get off the air. Well, as
Okay,
Wayno
say good night.
goes to
I
play
think
with his
Wayno has
phone.
to go thank everybody properly. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks for joining us. Thank you, Aussie group, for making Wayno the happiest little boy in Australia right now.
No worries, mate. No worries. And thank you for having me on today. Just for fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you,
Anytime, man. Anytime.
We'll see you next time.
See you
Yeah.
guys.
Next week.